I've been using this aim training routine ever since CS2 started. This is gonna be kind of like a warm-up slash aim training, just like how to get better with your aim type of video. The difference between warm-up and just aim training is just how much time that you're dedicating towards it. Like usually a warm-up, you don't really want to have like a really long warm-up routine, especially on LAN, because you just don't know how much time that you're gonna be having. Let's get into my routine. I am a fan of aim trainers. I think it is a very good way to supplement your aim, and it's a very focused way of working on mistakes that you've been doing with your mechanics. You can focus on very specific things. That's why I really like it. It's a very good isolation tool. So for my warm-up, I am still going to be doing my aim trainer routine. So starting off, I like to focus on my flicks and like making sure like my flick speed is good. So that's why this beginning task that you're seeing, I am just trying to very quickly flick to it, making sure that I'm not like having like this slow like mouse movement where I'm just like gliding towards the targets. That's one of the things that I'm always trying to focus on that I'm not doing. And then the second task, microshot speed, another similar type of task where I'm trying to very quickly, as soon as it spawns, I'm clicking right to it. I'm not having like any wasted movements, trying to have as straight lines as possible. Next, we wanted to have something that's more pressure feeling. So going to be, shooting these targets that are increasing in size and they'll eventually go away if you don't shoot them fast enough. For this one specifically, try to at least focus on not letting any of them disappear. That should be like your first target. Next one, I'm doing this micro task, just working on like these slow moving targets that are microing away. That is just like kind of just working on your micros and trying to be like smooth and clean with those micro adjustments. Next up, we have the MPXY Valorant. So this one is kind of just like working also on like peripheral awareness. So you have to be looking at like the targets like in your peripherals as everything's like going like in all these different directions. Quickly trying to go through the last three. For one wall, two targets auto balance, I really like this one in terms of working on not over flicking. So if you over flick, I think this is a very good task for you. BT Chorus TS flick. This one is more of like a pressure, trying to make sure that you're quickly like switching to the next targets, because they're going like from the right and left to right. And for the last one, it's more of a smoothness scenario. That's pretty much my aim training routine. And for you, it's always going to be different. You can start off with mine, look for a routine if you think that this is going to be helpful for you. I think it's very helpful. I think it saves a lot of time and can make your mechanics a lot better. But make sure that you know what you're kind of looking for, and you can start off with mine if it helps you. Quickly, if you are one of those guys that really likes aim training, make sure that you're not spending most of your time in aim trainers. You should be focusing like 80-90% of your time like in the game, especially like your training techniques. I think that aim training is very good as a supplemental tool, but the main purpose of it is so you're saving time on things that you're trying to focus on. Going into the CS portion of my routine, I usually start off with this map, which is CS stats, and I specifically use this one because it's the one that I can play on LAN. The refrag one is great. The aimbots one is fine. Anything like this is fine. This is just what I use since it is the one that I do end up using on LAN and all the tournaments have it. I go for like the first 250 kills. I'm just static aiming, static just shooting at the targets. I think that's just like a very good way to start the warm-up, because you don't want to start with something that's too difficult like right off the bat. Afterwards, I usually go into 250 kills again, and this time instead I'm going to be strafing. So I'll strafe left and then I'll do bursts. So I'll do strafe burst for like the next 250 kills. And for me, this is like a way to practice like my counter strafes, making sure that I'm feeling good with that. The next 250 kills after that, I like to do taps instead. So I'll do like strafing taps. So kind of like combining like the first and second way that I was playing the first 500 kills. It's very difficult, honestly. For the last 250, since I said before, I usually only play this CS stats or like aimbots equivalent when I am on LAN. I go into just spray transfers. I think that we don't have a lot of options for practicing our sprays when we're on LAN. So we pretty much only have this map. It's not going to be as good since they are just standing still, and spray transfers against targets that aren't really moving is kind of like whatever to me. Whenever you're spray transferring, people are usually going to be moving. And now we're going to be going to the last portion of my routine. This is if I can like have internet, I'm at home, and this is after aim training. I will go into like any of the refrag community hub maps that I really like. I can focus on the things that I want to. I can focus on good sprays, and this is like kind of like the meat of like the training that I do that helps me the most. So showing some of the training things that we have at refrag, of course me being a co-owner of it. Recently, I've actually been working on my crosshair placement, especially because I think Donk has really good crosshair placement, and I put more of like a focus on that. But I've been playing Xfire. I think it's actually really nice. It's like a combination of pre-fire and crossfire, if you're already aware what that is. I'm really focusing on like where I am going to be putting my crosshair, kind of just like tracing the walls like as I'm playing. and sometimes the bots are going to be like peeking out at you, so you're not kind of just playing static targets that like you kind of memorize where they are. There's definitely a lot of options that you have, so you're not feeling like, oh, I know exactly like where this bot is, this bot, and this one's going to strafe out here. You have enough variety where you're not going to like try metagaming against that. I've been getting a lot out of it from my crosshair placement, feeling good about it. We also have like a cool little feature at the end where it just shows like all the stats and your counter strafes. I've been trying to have like a goal of getting that from like 90 to 95%. I'm just having that as my personal goal recently, if you're curious. Then next, I love the spray maps. I think that spraying, if you are having any difficulty with like your sprays, play any of the spray maps. I love the Anubis and Ancient one specifically. I think that it's just really fun, and you can see it like in the game like very clearly. If you go into these spray maps and like you go into like your scrims for the day or for the pugs, I can guarantee you're gonna feel better with your spray. And if you're not feeling good with your spray already, if you don't like know the basic recoil patterns, then I would recommend checking out my how to spray video. Still, everything is relevant. You can, play Recoil Master, check out like our spray feature on Refrag. Any of that's going to get you going for like the initial how to spray. But you want to make sure that you're practicing your spray not just on a static wall. Use it on people that are moving. So whether you want to use like DM or you want to use the spray map like me, I personally love just using like these training tools, and it feels really good for me. And for the last one that I mainly play is for Blitz. I think it's just a really good like all-arounder. It's just bots kind of just like coming out, they're in static spots, just a really good mix of everything. I'm going to show you now how to go and find all these little community hub maps that I've been playing on Refrag. So you just go to refrag.gg, head over to community hub. Here on the server manager tab, you can just go to my subscribed sets, and you can click on any of these ones that you subscribe to. And how do you subscribe to them? You just go to the community hub and you can press the plus button. And you can even just press the play button right here and it'll just load on the server. It's very easy to even set up the server. You just press play now, you start the server. So you'll join the server up here. Very, very easy. And there's tons of other different tools that we have. Like at Refrag, tons of other like community hub maps. You can play any of them. These are the ones that I like and I try to always like play like in my routine whenever I can. If you don't have like that much time, I would either play like spray or blitz, because I don't have like all day. I can't like train for like 2 hours. You honestly even shouldn't be doing that. You should try to keep like your warm up to like 15 to 20 minutes. You don't need an hour-long warm-up routine. If I'm training, I'm gonna try to do all of these things. Or pugs. I think pugs are also like a really great way to just be training your mechanics. That's also what like tons of really good players do. But if I'm like strapped for time, I'm gonna make sure that I'm at least getting this stuff done for the day. Like if I have a really packed 6 scrim type day. So this has been my current training warm-up routine that I've been using ever since CS2 came out. Of course, I'm always going to be updating it, and you shouldn't follow this one for one. You should be looking for what is most comfortable for you. Do I have to work on my sprays? Do I have to work on my movement? Is my counter shapes not good enough? Try to like watch back your games and pay attention to those things. Hope you guys liked the video. Make sure that you're adding what you want, removing what you don't want. Make it personalized to you, and put yourself in the best position to do as well as you can in your games. Hope you guys liked it. See you in the next one.